Hi, so you've just started working here at Harrow International School here in Bangkok. Uh, Let me hear your name and whereabouts you work in the school and with which year groups.
Okay, my name's Kate, and I've just started at Harrow International School, Bangkok, and I'm a science teacher, so I teach in the upper school, and I teach students that are year 9 up to year 13. We have an unusual system in Harrow in the sense that we divide our students into sort of an upper and a lower school. So year 9 is the kind of upper school starting age or year group.
Okay, whereabouts were you working before you came out to Thailand?
I was a secondary science teacher in a state comprehensive in the southwest of the UK in Devon, so it's quite different, different climate and different kind of population as well in comparison to the busy city of Bangkok.
And are you happy?
Yeah, really happy. It's a big move. I think it's quite hard to pick up your life and move from the UK out to a foreign country with a foreign language, different culture and different cuisine. It takes a while for your stomach to get used to that different cuisine, but I think I've been here since August and it's now December, and I really feel that I've settled in and I've made some fantastic friends with colleagues. Tried new things, been to different places around Thailand and made plans to go to other places in Southeast Asia as well in my free time. So yeah, really happy.
Good. So you have the teaching day, but what do you do in your spare time?
Lots of things in my spare time. So school finishes quite early. It finishes at 2:40, but it does start quite early. It starts at 7:45 is registration. But it does mean that you've got that kind of early afternoon and evening to do things. So I've actually taken advantage. A lot of the sports activities that are available at school. I play badminton with the staff, volleyball with the staff. We have a swimming pool on site as well, which is fantastic. You can use in the evenings, as well as tennis courts as well, and a gymnasium as well if you're a fitness fan. But I also play sports in the city as well, netball as well, and book groups and then there's the weekends. You can go down to the beach or to some of the islands. There's lots to do, plenty of shopping as well.
Okay, so you arrived and Harrow gave you a house. What was your first impression when you were given your house, and what is it like living on the school campus?
My impression was I had so much space to myself. I was expecting to share a house perhaps with someone or maybe an apartment, but we have townhouses on site, and so we've got a 2-story house, 2 bedrooms. Mine is. Some staff do have 3 bedrooms, and it's only a single occupancy, but they're really spacious, very modern, very clean, lots and lots of space for you to spread out your things, and actually it still feels quite empty.
Okay. So, shall we just talk about your school day? And it starts in the morning, and what time you finish in the evening, and what happens during the school day?
So the school start, as I said before, is at 7:45 is registration. We have an 8-period day, but really in the upper school, most teachers work on double periods. So although a single lesson is 40 minutes, most of my lessons that I teach are 1 hour 20. So I'll have between sort of four whole lessons. My lightest day I only have 2 double lessons, and then the rest will be planning, preparation time. It's definitely a really great balance between allowing you to have enough time to prepare your lessons, as well as delivering high quality lessons as well. I really feel that you've got a lot of time and support to prepare good lessons, and that seems to be a real priority here.
Is it very different than when you were teaching in the UK? Are you doing the same curriculum, a different curriculum? Does it feel very different than teaching in the UK?
I thought it would. I thought it would feel really different. In the upper school, certainly we operate the IGCSE, the International GCSE. And in terms of syllabus, it's very similar to the English exam board, so AQA, Edexcel, the same sort of content. I think the onus on us at the Key Stage 4 is certainly that key language. It's hard for scientists, no matter where you're doing GCSE science, but certainly here in international school there are plenty of students where they are English as another language, and so there's a real focus on getting them to use the correct terminology. But I think that's the same in the UK.
Wherever you are.
And at Key Stage 5 we operate the AQA A level, so it's exactly the same as my experience back in the UK.
And like the building that you work in, so a science teacher, you're in a lab. do you have similar equipment? Can you still get hold of what you need to do all the experiments and things?
Yeah, so we have at the moment, well, almost this is true, a lab per teacher, which is quite unusual in the UK. Often you co-share laboratories. I have my own laboratory. I teach all my lessons in the same laboratory. That's different from the UK. But the labs are fantastically equipped. They're very modern. They're very clean. We've just built a brand new laboratory for physics, which is a dry room, so there's no sort of chemicals in there. And actually, we have separate labs for biology, chemistry, and physics. So each set of labs are equipped for those disciplines within science. In terms of equipment, we seem to have a limitless budget, I'm told by my head of biology, and so we've got fantastic resources here, lots of models, lots of different activities and equipment that you just wouldn't have in a state comprehensive in the UK. So it's quite an exciting place to be a biology teacher, and I imagine chemistry and physics would say the same.
So at Harrow we have lots of after-school activities. Are you involved in it, and how does that work for you, and after-school activities?
Okay, so we have to do at least one after-school activity for an hour. So I coach the under-13s badminton team on a Wednesday, and it's a really nice thing to do. It means that you get to see students that you wouldn't normally see. Certainly I teach in the upper school, so I don't get much contact time with the prep school students, the younger students. So that's really nice for me to see some different faces. And it's a nice thing to do something other than teaching science as well. It gives you the opportunity to get out of your department and get into the sporty part of the school.
So Harrow's mission statement is leadership for a better world. Are you involved in that? How do you teach leadership?
Yeah, it's a bold statement, I think, and it's certainly mirrored in the expectations of staff to prepare lessons that will allow the students to demonstrate their leadership skills. So the things that you would value in any young person, the ability to manage information, doing research in lessons is quite key, especially in science, and certainly collaboration as well. There's lots of presentations that go on in our lessons, and certainly teamwork skills are paramount as well to what Harrow sort of sees as the ideal student, preparing them for their future endeavours.
The school calendar here at Harrow, is it the same as in the UK? Are you going to be going home, staying here? How does the school calendar work?
I'd say it's quite similar. I haven't gone all the way through the school year just yet, but we have had the October half term as well. We started quite soon, which is quite tricky for a British teacher to come out, because obviously the British school term finishes quite late in July, whereas we started here on, well, the 10th of August we started this year, so only really a few weeks off if you are making the transition from the UK to Thailand. But we have a fantastically long summer, 7 weeks off in the summer holidays, lots of opportunities to travel around Southeast Asia. And Christmas we get three weeks off as well, which is lovely. Lots of staff are going home for Christmas. I'm not, but I'd quite like to do a bit of travelling around Thailand and some of the surrounding areas. And we do get public holidays, so tomorrow is the King's birthday. So we get a day off for the King's birthday, and I do believe we have Songkran, which is around about the UK Easter holiday time as well, and that's a public holiday. So it's a really nice term time. Some of the terms are quite long, but the holidays kind of make up for that.
When you left the UK, your salary that you left in the UK, when you came here, did you have a higher salary? Did you have a lower salary? Does it compare? And are you saving any money?
Yeah, the big question. I think that was one of the goals to come out to a different country, an international school, is certainly the promise of a better quality of living, better quality of life. My salary here is much greater than what I could command in the UK in terms of my years of experience. So I'm very impressed with the salary in an international school. So yes, I am managing to save. The cost of living is much lower. We don't pay rent on our accommodation, and bills and food are very affordable. And actually a night out in the city, if you did the same night out in London, it could bankrupt you, whereas in Thailand it won't even make a dent in your pocket. So the quality of life and doing the sorts of things that you might want to pursue is a lot easier here. Life feels a bit easier in terms of the cost of living. So yeah, it's good, and it's nice to see some money in your bank at the end of the month.
That's very good, yeah. The process of how you ended up at Harrow. So you're working in your school in Devon, and then what?
Yeah, so I wasn't really looking for international schools. I was just looking for jobs in Devon, and I thought the job in Harrow seemed incredibly interesting, and that's why I applied. It was on the TES, the Times Education Supplement website, and the application process is managed by a separate recruitment agency who I contacted and filled out the application form, and then they contacted me to set a date for my interview, which was at Harrow on the Hill in London, with Mr. Farley, who's the headmaster of Harrow, Bangkok. So I had my interview there. Obviously I didn't teach a lesson as part of my interview, but I had a 1 hour conversation with Mr. Farley and was asked about my pedagogy and my expectations of working in an international school, some excellent questions, and then here I am.
Here you are. What are the difficult things about moving away from the UK? What's difficult about either being here at Harrow or being here in Bangkok?
I think the biggest thing about leaving home is family, and it's quite hard because obviously you've got that emotional connection to your home, to your family, to your friends, and it is a big upheaval. Certainly modern day technology, things like Skype and email and instant messenger, you can be in contact with home very easily. Certainly at the moment it's a bit harder because the clocks have gone back in the UK, and so there's a 7-hour time difference, so that can make it a little bit hard to get in contact with your family and your friends during the week, working week, but certainly at the weekends it's nice to sort of touch base.
Are your family and friends going to come and visit you here?
Yes, my mum's already been out and stayed for a week.
Stay with you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfectly fine to have visitors. You can check them in and they can come and stay with you. They just need to get a visitor's badge, I think.
And of course the final question, what are the best things about being at Harrow International School?
Some of the best things are some of the moments that I've had with my students in my class. There are some fantastically intellectual students here with a real passion for learning. Certainly there's no behavioural issues that I've encountered. The students want to be here, they want to excel, and they're very, very respectful as well, and it just makes teaching your subject a lot more enjoyable, and the students get a lot out of the lessons that you deliver, and it's a rewarding feeling at the end of the school day.
Thank you.